All right. Welcome to the 16th edition of the Novice Sports Show. Again, you had three guys who came together organically to talk about sports from a novice point of view. Now, like I said, let's get those likes up. Let's get those shares up. Again, catchphrase. You're gonna leave a comment. We may write. We may read it. Then again, we may not. More than likely, we probably ain't gonna read it just to keep it real with everybody. But we're gonna get to the intros. We got my man
AJ.
We got my man Jay. We got A-Dub. So hot topic for this week, I guess, you got the CC girl for the Indiana Fever going through her trials and tribulations. And one of those trials and tribulations was you're a rookie. You ain't coming to the Olympics with us. So, it is what it is. And because I think it was only like one other person you said that made it. What's her name?
Now there have been other rookies that made it in the
so-
past, but just not this year.
Yeah, not this year. So
Yeah.
yeah, so so what are y'all's takes on that? Again, she's been balling out. She's been doing her thing. She's been getting better at it, but they still been mauling her. So, but anyway, so she's not making the Olympic team, the team that beats people by 30. So, from a marketing business standpoint, they put her on the squad, it would bring more eyes from the United States. I don't know about globally, but but everybody says, hey, we sell stuff to America. So, like I said, but I don't think her feelings are hurt.
Well, here's the thing you got to think about it. The way the Olympic Games is in the middle of their season.
Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't make the team is going to get a month and a half off.
Right.
She needs a break.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm sure she would love to be on the team.
Yeah.
Because one, she's a basketball player, and that's a big honor. I guarantee whoever has it, NBC or whoever, would love to have her on there.
Oh, yeah, get them eyeballs.
Because people will watch because of her.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, the team is like, and the people that selected the team, they're thinking, okay, yes, we put her on, we'll get more eyeballs.
Yeah.
But we already have this thing, the veterans versus the rookies.
Yep.
Has she really done anything to deserve a spot yet?
No.
The answer is
I
no.
don't think she has.
And you're going to be taking a spot from her, giving her spot, or taking a more deserving player's spot. That's another thing. They always talk about how the FIBA rules are more physical, and that seems to be the thing that's been the biggest kind of learning thing for her.
And the physical.
And so all the women that are on the team, the proposed team now, they all have experience.
Yeah.
They've all played before.
Yep.
They know how it goes. Most of them have won gold before, either world championship or Olympic. So, and the other thing is, Caitlin's biggest issue right now is she turns the ball over too much.
Yeah.
They don't need that, right? So
look, she got exposed in that Carolina game.
gotcha.
Yeah.
But in college, she was fine, but she's leading the league in turnovers. But it's just because she's figuring it out, and part of that's because her teammates aren't as good as she is. So she'll hit them with a dime, and they'll be like, "Huh?"
Yeah. But back to what you said, I think she does need a break because they played 18 games in like 12 days.
Yeah, that's the other crazy thing. If you look at the scheduling, I don't know if they did it just to try to capitalize, but they had the most games, the hardest schedule, and they're the worst team.
Right.
So they got it out there, early, but so maybe in the long run, she's definitely figuring it out. Like if you look,
it's gonna take time.
she had 30 the other day.
Yeah.
And here's a stat that they were saying that her average length of her threes is like 25 feet. That's her average three, and she's making a ton of them. Only one other player in the whole WNBA has taken one at that distance. So it's like she's, again, we said she's the Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Nobody was taking those distance shots.
She's gonna have to.
But him. She's the one, that's like her game. And then you watch more, there'll be more women that start doing that.
Right.
If she's making them at a high clip. And right now she's starting to catch on.
She's got to. I mean, I said her.
So back to that analogy though. Back to the example. So in the WNBA, Clark would be the Steph Curry and Sabrina would now be the Clay.
Yeah, but because Sabrina's numbers aren't
bad. Yeah, they're not bad.
No, what I'm saying is Sabrina's averaging when she's on a loaded team, she's averaging like 12 points a game. Like she's not a volume scorer. Like she's, that's Stewie's team.
Mhm.
She's a great role player, but Caitlin, it's her team.
Right.
She's definitely Steph. She takes way more shots than anybody else. She makes more, she's clearly the best player on that team.
she is the
Um,
only star they got.
Well, Aaliyah Boston was number
Yeah,
one last year.
Yep, the chick from Carolina.
But as far as
That's inside play though. She's not good.
And
Well,
if
no,
y'all want to be
but-
technical, she averages 17, 4, and 5, just in case somebody wants to.
you know about Caitlin,
No, Sabrina.
Sabrina,
Oh, she doesn't average 12. She averaged 17. Same thing.
it's close enough.
she averaged 17 this year.
Yeah, this year.
Okay.
As of right now, currently.
Okay.
But,
Well, that's better than I thought. But I think there was a stat the other day too about Caitlin is the fastest player in WNBA history to get to 200 points, 75 assists. So she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
Like people are talking about how like she's still figuring it out. She's figuring it out, and she's still
Yeah, she-
breaking records.
still producing, yeah.
What's she gonna produce? Like I said, but she needs help. Like I said, but we always say, be the first pick.
Because your team
You
is not
going-
very
yeah.
good.
Not very
You're
good.
going to a bad
You're not
situation.
going to a good situation. You're
Yeah.
not going to a loaded team.
Right,
You're
definitely.
going
not.
to a
And-
team that is in need of a lot.
Yeah.
And I actually want to correlate something that we talked about.
Mhm.
The Indiana Fever, correct?
Yeah.
They cannot expect Caitlin to be LeBron. And what I mean by that is you can't throw everything on Caitlin. They need a system for her to flourish. And they don't have one.
Well, here's the thing.
They don't have any pieces.
I think they're figuring out like what system to run.
Yeah.
But again, if you got the worst team in the league,
You're gonna need some pieces.
your first piece is Aaliyah Boston. She was the number one pick. She's gonna be dominant down low.
Yeah,
She's still figuring it out too, right?
Yeah.
So you got,
One piece.
two
Got-
pieces now, right?
Side
Right.
presence.
I don't know about the rest
Rest
of
of
the
the
team.
team, yeah.
Because again, we just started watching, right? So I don't know. I couldn't give you a scouting report on anybody else on that team.
So you got two pieces.
But next year, they're gonna get the top 3 pick again, right?
Yep.
And so that'll slowly start building. And then this coach that they have at Indiana, early on, I was a little iffy on
Mhm.
how she could, like they were using
Yeah.
Caitlin,
Mhm.
because, they've got her with the ball in her hands and she's bringing the ball down. She's facilitating.
Mhm.
They're picking her up full court.
Full court. I mean, as soon as you get it.
But you got to run her off screens. You got to get her looks. And early in the season, they weren't
They
doing
weren't
that.
do-
And so you look like, how come she's not scoring? Because you're not giving her looks.
She got the ball and she got 2 people on her.
Yeah.
Then she
So-
got the help.
Yeah. So now I think they figured it out a little bit. So because you see her coming off a lot more
I think
screens.
that's what they did in Iowa, so I don't understand why the coach wouldn't do
But
something.
Iowa had a system.
I know, but okay, if you're a professional, I understand your system. You can pick up some nuances.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can.
You go, okay, she shoots well. If she's going to the right off the screen, she's gonna shoot the 3 and she's 70%. Right? So we gonna set the screen, roll right,
Mhm.
and she's gonna shoot her shot. I mean, I'm not a coach in the WNBA. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think they're figuring it out now.
That's all I'm saying, I mean, I'm from a novice point of view, I don't watch basketball like that.
Yeah.
But
No little something.
I know I can pick up some trends.
Yeah.
I don't need a full, we're not gonna run the system because, no, this is your star player.
Yeah.
You watch some of her old college stuff and you go, she's good doing this.
Mhm.
I know look, we all gotta cash in. Let's do what we do.
Well, they started figuring it out because in that game, the last game when she had 30,
Yeah.
it looked like Caitlin from Iowa. Like she was coming off screens.
Yeah.
She was hitting fadeaway threes.
Yeah.
Like that looked like
But that's,
she still had 8 turnovers, but that part's gonna,
still had 8 turnovers.
yeah, that
It's
part's gonna come
unacceptable.
later.
Unacceptable in the world of basketball.
But
That's
going
a
back to, oh, go ahead.
I said in the world of basketball, but you go ahead.
So they were talking, the Caitlin effect as far as like viewership.
Yeah.
So get this, I saw this stat. The Chicago Sky and the Fever both had games against the Washington Mystics.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Mystics attendance was so bad, and their team's horrible. They might be
Yeah.
the worst team. Their attendance was so bad that they were in a 10,000 seat arena. They changed, and now they're going to a 4,000 seat arena.
In DC.
When they played
This is when they
The-
played who?
when they,
They played
no,
Fever.
no, all season.
Oh, okay, I was thinking, okay.
But when they played the Sky, the tickets were so high because people want to see Angel Reese.
Yeah.
They had to move back to the 10,000 seat arena.
Gotcha.
Then
They sold, no, sorry, it was like a 20-something thousand seat arena. So the number of tickets that they sold for that was 10,000 something, right? To see Angel and the Sky.
Okay.
How many tickets you think they sold when they played the Fever?
20.
20 something.
yeah,
They
that.
broke the record for the most tickets sold since like 1999 in the
Yeah,
WNBA.
See, but then that leads us into what we talked about last week, right? It's not just about Caitlin, it's that entire group that was drafted. Because it's Angel.
Well, but here's the thing, it is,
Yeah.
but the game against Angel.
Yeah.
10,000,
Yeah.
which is way
Great.
more than what
That's
they were
way more.
doing.
Yeah.
But then double that
Oh, yeah, see,
for
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Yeah, I get it.
So Angel is correct that, and I don't know why people don't get,
What she's saying.
there would be no Caitlin stardom if
Without
that,
her.
if that,
Yeah.
Without that one game.
if that narrative, yeah, that whole narrative.
Exactly. There was little.
Wasn't for this.
Well, there it was this.
That,
Yeah,
and
was
then
the
it
thing.
was.
This, that, now, she
Um,
was just like,
But the whole narrative,
I got my ring.
and that's what people I see online and stuff, and they're like arguing,
What's
oh, it don't have nothing to do with
Yes, it
Angel.
does.
It had everything to do with Angel.
Yes, it did, because she's the one, look, that game, that national championship game, when she said, you can't see me, I got the ring, that's when it all blew up.
Yep.
Right? I mean, because think about it. Even when she was shooing the girl off at the 3-point line in the USC game, nobody was talking about it. That's when she, what game did she do? You can't see me.
Well, remember that You Can't See Me was Caitlin's thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, they were saying that she did it to
To
Haley
set-
Van Lith. It
yeah,
really
but
wasn't
that's-
her.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah, was it? Yeah.
but
You know, but that's.
but at the end of the championship game,
Yeah.
that's when
Yeah.
Angel
Angel's
went up
turn,
to her and
yeah.
was like, guess what? They were up by like 17.
You can't see.
The story is what brought the eyeballs, because without that, Caitlin would have just been Kelsey
Caitlin,
Plum.
yeah,
Kelsey
right.
Plum did the same thing and nobody cared.
Yep. Doing the same thing.
Kelsey broke the record
Yeah.
several years ago and nobody was watching.
Nobody cared.
Caitlin, yes, is doing some things that she didn't, and people like those deep threes and that kind of thing. But the thing that really brought the eyeballs was the competition, the rivalry,
Yeah.
the dichotomy between these two teams. And so when Angel says that, she's completely right.
Yeah.
Now, popularity wise, there's a group of people that roll with Angel,
Versus a group, yeah.
and but the
Other side.
the other side and the people that didn't watch, and that's where that whole racial thing comes in.
Yeah.
They definitely, Caitlin has
Siding on
as an
another-
army,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So
You know, but you gotta have your what? Gotta have your Batman and you gotta have your Joker.
Well, with that being said.
Yeah.
If she continues on her path.
Who?
Jordan will be coming to the league very soon. And that is Juju Watkins.
okay, so
Oh.
very interesting. So we made that comparison that we had Bird and
Set the
Magic, and then we
Set
got,
the game.
and then that took the league to a certain level.
Yeah.
And then Jordan came in and took it even further. So, it's out, we got a while to go unless they change the
Dude.
rules.
Yeah, they got 3 years, baby.
But-
They got 3 years.
Can you imagine though, if they change the rule
But she can
and
come
she
out
could
early.
come out, let's say she comes out next year,
Yeah, but
now
see-
you're talking.
And-
what scares me about that, she'd have to be the #1 overall pick, which doesn't doubt, but she is what? 19? Juju, how old is
Next-
she? She's
By
like-
then,
next year
she'll be
20.
20.
I mean, okay, so she'll be 20, but again,
She'll be young.
there's that parity we always talk about. I mean, I watched her play. I have no doubt the chick can play. She plays like a guy. All hands down. But okay, but you're playing against women who are what? 30, 32, so do we really, I understand the marketing.
Oh, you saying, do we want them to come out early?
Do we come out early? I mean,
Yeah.
cause think about it, a man coming out early is different from a girl coming out. Because, when you hit 21, you're basically full grown as a guy. You just gotta get the mechanics and the strength and all that up. But when
Okay.
you're talking about girls coming out early, and you're talking about playing a grown woman versus a young lady.
Well, see, but I'm talking about the marketing.
Yeah,
keeping it
okay, all
going.
right, yeah.
Because Caitlin's 22 and she still struggles.
Yeah.
But if you you wait 3 years before Juju can come out and join the league,
Mhm.
you might lose
Lose
the
momentum,
steam
the
you have,
momentum.
the momentum, right?
So
So
they got,
yes, there's gonna be a learning curve, but
Yeah.
they all have it.
Yep.
So if, on a marketing end, you want, and again, the college doesn't want her to leave because they want to see what they can do to keep the
Right.
eyeballs going.
Yeah.
But they're gonna find the same thing, is that the eyeballs aren't gonna be there if there's
Story.
not the storyline.
So it's gonna be East Coast against West Coast. They're going to play, they're going to make
Yeah.
UConn play USC, and I hope USC gets some more players.
Because with that, if Angel and Caitlin are Larry and Magic,
Yeah.
Juju is Jordan.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
Who would Paige be?
Well, see, that's the interesting thing, because
You had, I mean, think about it. When you had Michael, when you had Larry, you did have other people. You had Barkley. You had other people.
That's what I'm saying. Who would she resemble though?
well, that's the
Her
thing.
game.
See, Paige's game is not Paige is
It's all around.
right, but she's not. There's not like one thing that she does that's like,
Oh,
right. You don't.
So she would be like a star, not a superstar.
I think she'll still be
I
a
think she could.
superstar.
Yeah, I think
But-
she could be a superstar.
It's not that, Caitlin shoots long threes.
I don't think it's not the flashiness.
Exactly.
Well, see, then
Exactly.
who could that be?
Like it's not Caitlin Clark coming off a screen at 30 feet and she's drifting and she shoots a three and she makes it.
Exactly.
Whereas Paige
Paige isn't doing that.
she'll
Paige is,
come off her screen, but she's gonna make sure she's balanced. It's just not going to catch your eye. You can be like, hey, she shot it far, but it's not how Caitlin is.
and Paige isn't doing those. One, Gino's not.
Yeah, she
not
stays
going
within
for
her
that.
game as well.
Yeah, and that's something funny. I don't know if we talked about this on another show.
Yeah.
Some of the UConn women, former players, were saying Caitlin better be glad she went to Iowa, because she wanted to go to UConn.
Yeah.
But Gino
He had Paige.
Brought
like,
Paige,
up
exactly.
with Paige.
and because they were like, Gino wouldn't let her shoot
Yeah.
those shots.
Yeah.
Because that's not what our system was. So that's another thing where you have
But
to
y'all see
have
what he just said, right?
system. You have to be in the right position to show your skills.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you might get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Because Caitlin was the star
Yeah.
for
The
Iowa,
system.
and she had the freedom to be able to do
Whatever she
what she
wanted.
wanted to do. You go to UConn, where they got 5 other 5 stars, and Gino's like, I've got how many championships?
Mhm.
I need you to run it this way.
Yeah.
And so,
And
Well,
that's
see, but then that was that old saying, the only person that ever hold Jordan under 23 was who?
was Dean
Was
Smith.
Dean Smith, because of the system.
and then regarding this system,
Mhm.
we talked about it last episode. I think when Caitlin Clark got knocked down and all that little
Yeah.
fuss was happening.
Yeah.
I also believe, we didn't talk about it, but I also believe that maybe the camaraderie from the
Yeah,
teammates are not there because it's not how she used to be at Iowa,
Well, see, but
where
but-
she was the system, where now
Well-
you have to build a relationship
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
with these girls on this team,
but see,
because
but
you are
that's-
not just the
but-
system.
But again, that's professionalism, right? I mean, that's like me leaving my college dorm room and moving into an apartment complex. Not everybody gonna like me. I'm not gonna talk to everybody. I gotta build relationships with each and every person, because we are professionals. When you're in college, you spend way more time with each other
Yep.
than you do. I mean, because literally you eat together, you play together in season, out of season. When you're a professional, I can have my own trainer. My trainer is not your trainer.
Mhm.
That's how it works. I mean, that's in every level, because I mean, why would I train with you? Well, I live in Texas. I'm not coming to where you are. I'm not coming to Indiana. I don't know you like that yet.
But that may be one of the things she is struggling with, maybe,
I mean,
outside of on the.
Well,
don't think-
we're not in the locker room, so
Yeah,
we
that
don't,
was said maybe,
so we
maybe.
don't know.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember,
She's young.
this is like the 10th game of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
They've never
Played
played together
So you
before,
have to
so
build, like I said, you have to build that relationship, and they have to find out. And again, there is that, I've been here for 15 years, you
Yeah.
come in and now you're getting all the accolades. So there, again, egos play into this.
well,
too.
and I guarantee, because of all the eyeballs and all the
Yeah.
attention on that, if somebody breathes on her, you can watch players coming into
Yeah.
because it was a bad look.
Yeah.
And they don't want that look
To
of
continue.
our team, like, oh, dang, people making fun of us for not helping her. I guarantee you that's
Oh,
not
got to
gonna
pick
happen.
up now, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
number
picking
one,
up
the league's not gonna have it. I guarantee a memo went out saying,
Yeah.
we want you to be competitive.
But-
We don't want to give anybody any special treatment. But we're gonna start calling some of these things that we
Yeah.
didn't call before. Cause
Gotta protect that cow.
gotta keep it,
Yeah, man, like I said, but
up and up.
but they were good again. They are. I'll say this, they're more in the spotlight more than ever.
Yeah.
Because normally you wouldn't even hear about anything until they get to the playoffs. And that's.
And then you really still wouldn't hear
You still
about it.
hear anything until you're like, oh, the Aces have won. Like, won what? Who? Ace who? What are you talking about?
And
Ace Hardware Store?
I do want to say that I saw or recognized that, I don't know if it was just, if I can remember correctly, I don't know if it was just Asia Wilson. I know it was some other athletes as well,
Mhm.
but she was in a commercial with Gatorade.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see where that
Well, yeah, I mean,
goes
well,
as
again,
far as marketing.
yeah,
I
they
wonder
have
if
to.
Caitlin's gonna have her own commercial with
She
Nike.
will. She will. I mean,
Oh,
I think,
yeah,
I mean,
Gary,
Soon,
that's
soon
coming.
rather than later, but
I mean, well, they'll do it. I mean, like I said, I think Nike, I'll say this about Nike. Nike, when they do the commercials, are really good. And when they do them, when they place them, they're
Yeah.
really good because they're memorable. And that's what you want to have to capitalize on this frenzy with the WNBA.
mhm.
You know, if not, then, hey, she just signed a check. She's still getting her shoe money.
She is.
it's gonna be a wasted opportunity, but they also have to balance pushing Caitlin,
Mhm.
but also keeping some of the others happy,
Yeah.
right? So you still gotta
You
make
gotta
your
push the best player.
your
like
best
the
player,
lady,
you gotta,
Asia Wilson.
and your best, the other rookies, you gotta make sure that
Brink.
Angel's getting her,
Brink's getting
Brink
is.
Brink, again, they've got their own things going
Yeah.
and that they've continued. But the league needs to also acknowledge, these younger players as
Yeah.
well. But the older players, again, need to just take advantage of the opportunities that you're gonna get now that more people are watching
Yeah.
and,
And that's where they should play it. I mean, like I said, because I know there was a clip earlier and they were talking about, and again, we had mentioned this in one of our other episodes, which is, old heads against the younger generation. And, it's that whole group that's coming in. And that, I get it, I see it, but at some point in the back of your head, you gotta go, I gotta capitalize on this.
Mhm.
I mean, because what, other than when it really started, when were we ever really talking about?
no, 100%.
And then, and
I
they
mean,
actually missed out on one story with
Yeah.
one of the older
Uh-huh.
teammate or older,
it's, yeah.
Skylar Diggins and
Uh-huh.
Deanna Taurasi.
Yeah.
They were in the huddle. It happened a while back.
Yeah.
They started fussing, getting into
Yeah.
it. Then they played a few weeks ago. They didn't really
Well,
push
see,
that.
now they're
But
gonna push it because,
Yeah, because again, Skylar Diggins in college was cool,
but
but I couldn't tell you what team Skylar Diggins plays for. I like Skylar Diggins,
yeah.
right?
but I couldn't
See,
tell
and
you what team she
But we
plays
just talk
for.
about the stories and how we need
Yeah, but
to.
see, but so-
They need to
but see,
push them.
but-
We need
but
to
see,
catch them.
But see, but even in the NBA, if Ant-Man wasn't being pushed, we'll be talking about Minnesota. Right?
Well, we would because
No,
they're in
I'm
the
just saying-
playoffs.
I mean, but I'm just saying,
but-
otherwise.
The marketing push.
The
what
marketing
would be?
push,
I see
what would
what
it
you're saying.
be? No, I mean, think about it. Will we be talking about, what's the guy from New York? The one,
Brunson.
Brunson, right? Brunson, playoff, 40 points, 30 points, great score. I mean, how many, hey, Dame was a great scorer up in
Portland,
Portland. Did we see a lot of stories about Dame, other than his half-court miracle three?
Other
No.
than where he wanted to go.
Yeah, I want to go to Miami. No, he went to, no.
But the NBA has always
Yeah.
done a good job of pushing players,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
The NFL, we talked about before, the NFL pushes
Team.
teams, the NBA pushes players.
Yeah.
We don't really know what the
The WNBA is gonna
does,
do, yeah.
because
See, but they have the model, and see, now
They could just take from.
they have models they can pick and choose from, right? Because I really believe, like I said, I think right now, they really need to push their players so everybody becomes familiar with their teams. Because like you just said, who she play for?
Yeah.
Right, who is the face of what? You know the champions because they push the champions, but you need to push the other teams because there's more than one team.
And the Aces, back to what the Aces are loaded.
Oh, they're
And then
way
Becky,
loaded.
and then Becky coaching them.
He said
They're way loaded.
Loaded.
They're
He's
way
like,
loaded.
They stacked on stacked on stacked.
And
Everything.
and again, New York
I'm joking.
is loaded. But I think I wanted to say it's Connecticut. Somebody, they were also undefeated up to this
Mhm.
point. Like
Yeah.
they just lost their first
Yeah.
game, but I couldn't tell you who's playing for them.
See, that's just so sick. You know, that goes back to what? Because think about it. Even when we were little, your favorite player played on your team, right? And you knew who your team was. So if you can get your favorite player out there more,
Yep.
now you begin to associate it with the team. And they don't have all the free agent movement
Right,
that
right.
anybody else has. So more than likely you're better apt to build a relationship with that team to build a stronger following.
And then
Unless your favorite player is not a star,
Yeah.
because them jokers move around a lot.
yeah.
Well,
Uh,
we'll talk about the stars. I'm not talking.
You'll be on a team one day, get
And
waived,
get
and be on another
waived,
team, and you play
yeah.
against the same team that waived you. You be like,
That's exactly right.
storyline.
and
Yeah.
then on back to what you mentioned,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking about it now is, with the WNBA, maybe they need to redesign their jerseys to cater to the kids.
Care a minute.
As far as more design, maybe more designs.
Not so
I'm
much
not really
kids.
sure,
Well, I
but
mean,
not necessarily kids,
Yeah.
but
Well, you
have to get a redesign of the
Yeah,
jersey.
they probably get a redesign of jersey, but they
Like a
want-
special edition or
Oh, you talking about colorways?
yeah, just different
They
colorways.
probably
that they
do that,
implement.
but
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because we don't.
Usually
Like,
don't watch.
There might be 1,000 different
I mean, they got
jerseys
I
that.
think they got like 3 jerseys, but
See, I could get. I wouldn't know, right? And I don't. I mean, I've paid attention.
Hold up, be like the Oregon team.
yeah, then they have like 7 different jerseys.
Yeah.
bro.
7
Yeah.
jerseys, 8 combinations. I see those.
Yeah, like we see them.
I see them jerseys. That's why I
Yeah.
watched Oregon. What they gonna
Well,
come out with?
Look, all that matters. How many jerseys does Caitlin have? How many does Angel have? How many does Cameron have? And then we can build off
Off
of
of
those,
those.
right? Because nobody, those 3, I guarantee, are selling a whole lot. And then Asia Wilson's probably selling the 4th most.
Yeah.
And then let me ask
Oh
you
my God.
one little question right quick before we switch into another topic.
Okay.
For the WNBA, you can take it back to when you started watching it or who you just remember. Who was on your Mount Rushmore and who would start to get replaced with the younger
Well, I mean,
generation?
I look. I'm
Well,
sorry.
WNBA,
Look, I'm sorry.
You could just pick maybe the people that you like or whatever the case may be.
Look, I hate to tell you this, but I don't even have 4.
And that's fine. And that's what we're talking about right now.
I mean,
when you talk about
But who you remember?
okay, I remember Cooper, right? I remember
Cynthia Cooper.
when she first came out because she was balling and doing her thing. I remember Candace Parker. I remember
A lot of people are not talking about Maya Moore anymore.
yeah,
Which is crazy.
Lisa Leslie and was it Monique? I can't remember the other girl. Those are the 4 that I remember.
Okay.
Only because they were on TV so much. I didn't watch the games. I'm being honest, but I love the commercials.
Gotcha.
I love the commercials they were in
Mhm.
because but like I said, so you got to remember now. So they played like 20 years ago,
longer than that.
longer than that.
Almost
so in
30.
the 90s, in the 90s. So this is what I remember. So between there and now, I can't tell you. Other than Shamika Hoslaw, I tend to, because I watched more college ball with
Right.
girls
You said that.
than I did with the WNBA.
Yep.
So I was Shamika Hoslaw, Tennessee. I watched that. I watched a couple other girls come out of Stanford.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what they did in
Yeah.
the front. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Well, back in the old days, the most exciting thing that ever happened with women's college basketball was when somebody would dunk. Cheryl Miller got a dunk, everybody went crazy, right? She was averaging 35 points, but when she got a dunk in a game, everybody went crazy. When Candace Parker was dunking in the
Yeah.
high school All-American game
Yeah.
and dunking at Tennessee, like people went crazy. That kind of tells you like how gimmicky it was, right? Nobody cared about nobody was talking about the
35.
level of play, right? But if you got a dunk, everybody went crazy. It was
Right.
everywhere.
You can be down 30. You got to dunk.
But Lisa Leslie, she was 6'8". Of course, Brittany Griner, she
Right.
was 6'9". She was dunking easy.
2 feet.
But the Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper, they won like 3 in a row, I think, for
Yeah.
Houston back
Yeah.
in the 90s when it first started.
Yep.
But I guess, Taurasi is definitely going to be there. She's
Okay.
also coming to score. She's still playing. Probably going to make the Olympic team again. Sue Bird, you know, those two definitely. But then, you know, Cooper, Swoops, you know, if I had to name four off the top of my head.
Okay, so does any of the younger generation remind you of the older players?
I gotta watch them today. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm being
not
honest.
really.
I'm being honest. I've
I
watched
mean,
like
Sue Bird was like Steve Nash. She was so I can think about it in men terms.
Okay.
Sue Bird was like the best point guard. So I think of her like being kind of like a Steve Nash type, but she's a better version of Steve Nash.
I'm loud.
But it's difficult to really compare them because again, we didn't really watch them
Yeah.
as closely as we're watching now.
Yeah.
And even now, we're not watching every player on every team the way we're watching now. So the comparisons are hard to make, but we're definitely paying more attention now,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. WNBA just needs to remember that. You know, the whole Olympics thing. I guarantee there's going to be a big, like, outcry. Why didn't Caitlin on? I'm not watching it. But if she doesn't play, I'm not watching it. You know what? It's fine.
Okay.
They're worried about winning gold medals.
Yeah.
They're worried about kind of taking care of their,
Older guys.
the people that they've already had. So now if they mess around and lose because somebody misses a three, they'll be like, see, you should have Caitlin on. But I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that.
I don't think they have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't think they will. But with that, like I said, we're gonna jump into another basketball topic. This one puzzles me the most, but the Lakers search for a head coach and how JJ Redick is at the top of that list. Because I don't see it. So maybe y'all can help me understand. Because like I said, I mean, I get you want the youth movement, you get this, you get that, but I'm like, JJ Redick?
It's a coin toss between JJ Redick right now and Dan
Hurley.
I got mixed emotions on it. One, how did JJ even
Get into the conversation.
exactly? Secondly,
I got one word for that. Braun.
secondly, the question would be, does Dan Hurley win you one now, or are you looking for the future? AJ can expand more on what he thinks they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I'll let him take.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, because especially if you're talking about winning now, I don't see them winning now.
Exactly.
I just don't see that.
Yeah,
I mean, with their roster, unless they're just gonna.
Because they could possibly be in the playoffs now if they didn't reach the Nuggets in the first round.
Here we go. They were in the playoffs last year when they weren't supposed to be, and they're in the playoffs this year when they weren't supposed to be. So, okay, and I'll say this: coming out of the West is a lot harder than coming out of the East. So, if they were in the East, they probably would have made it to the semifinals, maybe. But like I said, for them to win right now, I don't see it. Unless Anthony Davis gets a makeover and gets a whole new personality. But that's just my take. Go ahead. Yeah.
You look at the Lakers roster, right?
Yeah.
They still have, he might be 40 years old, but they still have LeBron. AD should be a top 5 player.
Right.
And this year he actually had his best season in a long time. He stayed healthy, stayed upright. He had a great, defensive season. He played on offense. I don't really have a problem. So they've got a decent roster, right?
Yeah.
They just can't get past the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And so if they had the Nuggets in a different order,
Right.
they could have done what they did last year, Bob, because they matched up with all these other teams. And if you think about it, it was a coin toss, a coin flip that had them going up against the Nuggets because they had the same record as OKC, but the coin toss made it go the other way.
Second seed.
And if you look at the Lakers, they didn't play for the regular season, right? You could tell they were kind of figuring it out, trying to figure it out. With LeBron's teams, he's like, all I need to do is get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Cruising.
And I don't care what seed we're in, we're gonna do our thing, right?
Yeah.
So that has always been his sort of, philosophy. So a bad coin flip, they end up with the worst matchup, a team that they can't beat for some reason.
Yeah.
Minnesota ends up catching them on a bad day, a bad series, whatever. And so a few things go differently.
Yeah.
And then I will always take my chances with a healthy LeBron, a healthy Anthony Davis. I'll take my chances against anybody, especially in the playoffs.
Not with AD. You touch him,
Yeah, but-
his shoulder broke.
No, but not this year though. Look at the bubble year, right? I'll take my
Bubble wrap-
chances
bubble
with
wrap
them.
year.
If you can get to the playoffs, I'll take my chances because you still are gonna be, it's gonna be difficult to find two people that are, they have to show up, they have to play. But it's hard, it'll be difficult to find two people that are
Little better
better than
that
them,
duo, yeah.
right? And then if you get Austin Reeves hitting some shots, if D'Angelo Russell shows up,
You got Jay Vandell. You got a few
they
people.
got
You
they
a
got some
few.
pieces, right? So I don't think the Lakers roster is horrible. You just got to get the right matchups. You got to get, shuffle things around. I don't think Darvin Ham really knew what he was doing so much. So
They had a video of him in the huddle where it looked like he was drawing the play, but on the clipboard it just said "Don't foul."
well, I mean, hey man, keep it simple, right?
It said, "Don't foul, stop fouling."
See, you know what? Keep it simple. I guess he was like, look, our plays are fine. Y'all just found too much.
I hate him.
But
I just-
but with the new coach though,
whoever he is.
JJ is like the hot new, like
Mastermind,
Ma-
especially with the
exactly.
podcast that he has. With
exactly. And I don't know, that might be a coincidence, but occasionally you'll have somebody that's a commentator,
Yeah.
either usually a former player. That's like the big name. Everybody's like, ooh,
Yeah.
we need to look at him. Look how smart he sounds. Kenny Smith was one years ago. They were like,
Fine, stay.
yeah, he's like, I'm good. I'll stay where I'm at. They wanted him in the front office for some
Ron's a
things.
mastermind. He knows how to set stuff up.
But so that's why JJ's name is out there. But I look at how it worked with Steve Nash. He had no coaching experience, and that just never worked from the jump.
Yeah.
JJ, the only thing he's ever coached is AAU, his kids' AAU teams. So as smart as you are, you still have, now again, you got a little bit of cred because you're a former player. All these guys actually played against
Yes,
you.
yeah.
Darvin Ham's a former player, but LeBron's the only one old enough to have played against. So you're going to get a little bit more respect from JJ. But the whole like LeBron connection, I think that kind of hurts him. People are going to say the only reason you got the jobs because your boy. But as for Dan Hurley, right? They're looking to bring back the old days of the Lakers. So when they had their dynasties, they had Pat Riley with, Magic with those years, Magic and Kareem. When they had Shaq and Kobe and Gasol, they had Phil Jackson, right? They're like, I think it's since like 2010, they've had like 8 different coaches or something. They're looking for, we need somebody to give us stability. Now that means they're going to have to commit to not firing you every 2 years.
Right.
And they think Dan Hurley is that guy to build a culture long term. So I don't think they're looking at, of course, you want to try to maximize the years when you have LeBron, but I think they're kind of changing focus and saying, LeBron, we're not building this around you anymore. We know you've only got 2, maybe 3 years. We know you're a free agent. You're doing year to year. We're building this for the long haul. We hope you're on board with us, and we're going to see what happens.
So then what is your take on this? And it's been either he doesn't or he does. I haven't heard really in the middle type of answer, a middle ground. Do you think Braun wants to be coached, or you think he does not want to be?
I think he wants to be coached by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Okay.
And I've made this argument 1,000 times. When you look at the greats of the NBA, right? Kareem, Magic, Bird, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan. What do they all, Isaiah, what do they all have in common? Hall of Fame coaches for almost their whole career. LeBron has never had that. The only Hall of Fame coach he's got is Spoelstra, and Spoelstra wouldn't be a Hall of Famer if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
So,
But think about it. What Hall of Fame coach is left now? I mean, what? San Antonio?
well, no, that's what I'm saying. LeBron is like, I would love to be coached if I had a pop.
Yeah.
If I had some of these guys. I mean, he did really well with Ty Lue. Ty Lue is a up
Yeah, he's an
guy.
incredible guy.
Yeah. But LeBron's never had a Hall of Fame coach.
And that was a good move by the Clippers for keeping Tyler.
100%.
That rumor out there.
But that's the thing. If we'll never know what could have happened if
Yeah.
LeBron had because people will say like LeBron is a coach killer. No, he's not. He's actually a career maker, because some of these dudes wouldn't have a career or a championship behind their name. You think Frank Vogel's going to have a championship if he didn't happen to coach LeBron James? I'm gonna say the answer to that is no.
He said Vogel.
Right?
He was he at Indiana or
I don't know where he's at. He's
He was with
been
Phoenix,
fired a
now
couple
he's
times,
fired.
right?
I
Yeah.
think he's on the verge. He's either
Yeah.
fired or on the verge.
Yeah.
I mean,
But on his resume, it says NBA champion.
2020.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we'll never know what would have happened if LeBron had ended up with a Phil Jackson in that system, right?
Right.
That was the other thing. What kind of system do you have? With the Phil Jackson, it was a triangle. It worked with Jordan. It worked with Kobe.
Yeah.
It would work with like you just fill it in, right? Whatever the system is for San Antonio, now hasn't really worked since they lost all their good players,
Right.
but they run it for whatever number of years, and he won a lot of championships with it, right? Bad boy Pistons,
Yeah.
that style with
Even
Daly.
even
it worked.
their little twist on Golden State. They did a little twist.
So that's the other one.
Yeah.
That's you say what you want about Steve Kerr. That dude got lots of championships. He got a system. It works, and maybe it would have worked if you kept Mark Jackson. We'll never know that.
We'll never
But
know.
something didn't work, and when he left, he started winning championships. So all those dudes, throw Steph in there too. Hall of Fame coaches, great systems, and the one dude who is arguably might be the best of all of them
Never had one.
never had it, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of
But see,
figured it out on his own
Yep.
in a lot of cases.
yeah, but you don't have any, I mean, to me, again, I don't see a lot of Hall of Fame coaches in the league right now. I mean, other than Pop.
Well, that's because, like we always talk about, they recycle the same head coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I mean, who was another Hall of Fame? Coached in New York, coaching Little League now. Yeah, a guy, he coaches, I can't remember his name, really, he wore glasses. His name will pop in my head tonight.
I say it ain't time to.
No, this is a while
Oh,
ago. God, I can't think of his
Rick
name.
Pitino?
No, God, no.
Who we talking about? I don't know. But anyway,
Larry, is it Larry?
oh, Larry Brown.
Larry Brown.
Well, again, Larry Brown was a coach for 100 years,
Yeah, I know.
for
I'm saying though.
50 different teams.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but he, he can coach though.
Yeah,
He
he
can
definitely.
coach.
But
That's what I'm
but
saying.
he's the dude you don't. To me, you don't want him as your head coach.
No.
You want him on the bench in practice
Yeah.
to teach stuff. Because look what he did to the Sixers and the Iverson. That was the whole. You're not practicing hard enough.
Well, that was what I'm
Practice.
just saying though.
But
Hall
but
of
no,
Fame.
but right.
Hall of Fame. I'm just saying Hall of Fame.
But
coaches.
even the dude that started the triangle offense,
Yeah.
he was like this old dude at like Princeton, I think. Phil Jackson brought him in to be on the bench
Yeah.
to teach him
How to do it.
how to do it, and then in practice, he was the one teaching.
Yeah, like-
Phil was the mastermind, but
Is Doc Rivers there?
Say what?
uh,
Hall of Fame killer.
Doc has a championship.
Because he had a lot of great teams.
He has a lot. He has one championship. He
I
got
know.
a lot of wins, and a lot of Hall of Fame players.
Mm-hmm.
But do I think he's a great coach? And no,
Okay.
Here we go.
I do not think he is.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bro. You come in with a stacked team and you still get whacked. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah,
Somebody ain't coaching.
yeah.
But other than that, with the coaching stuff, where do the Lakers need to go? What pieces do they need to pick up? Who would you like to have on the team? It's a lot of targets that the Lakers are trying to target. Trae Young, I've heard. Even
From
your
Atlanta.
boy, they're trying to come back. Kyle Kuzma, he's available. It's a lot of
They
Zach LaVine.
to me they need LeBron always plays well with a scorer, a wing scorer that can just get buckets when it breaks down. Kyrie,
Called him
know,
the Wizard
on
on his podcast a few days ago.
exactly. So, I don't know who's really out there that they can get. They definitely, will try to make some moves. But, Austin
Yeah.
Reeves got paid a lot of money, but he's not the player that's gonna be out there just can get a bucket.
Right.
He's a great like point guard when LeBron's not running it or whatever, and he can score. But, that's what they need. To me, that's what that team needs. And then you got to figure out the role of, Hachimura and, Reeves. I think you get rid of D'Angelo Russell. I'm done with him.
Okay.
He would have been gone, but he played great after the All-Star, up to the All-Star break.
Yeah, I need another. I mean, are y'all trying to get another big man? I mean, Anthony Davis always hurt.
If Anthony Davis would play the 5, shut up and play the 5, LeBron play the 4, and like the point forward thing, I think they'll be fine. But he doesn't want to play the 5. He wants to play the 4. So yes, then they need a big man so they can appease Anthony Davis. But yeah, I mean, who knows? The pieces are out there. They got to
What's his ankle?
shuffle some things around.
He'll twist his ankle. Yeah,
But
be all right.
yeah, but coaching wise, they want somebody that's going to build a culture and that's going to be there for a while. And Hurley, I think this is the one job that would get him to leave UConn because they're going to throw so much money at him and they're going to give him anything he wants. It's tough coaching men compared to coaching kids.
Kids.
Let's see if that's that power.
So
And
that's
do you think if he were to take the job, does he bring his staff from UConn?
No. Because like I said, it's the same mentality, right? You gotta look at, didn't Patino do that, Boston? And it didn't work out well.
I don't remember who he brought with him, but
he brought, when you bring, and again,
I'm not saying all of them.
no, you have to remember, right? When you're dealing with kids, you're dealing with grown men.
Yeah, they're making that
make
more than you.
Yeah,
They're making way more money than you are.
Making way more than you. They've been in the league longer, XYZ. You gotta look at, and again, here's an example. Chip Kelly went to Philadelphia, tried to run that organ system in the NFL. When he said he was gonna run that system, I was like, you don't have 120 players. Yeah, I got 53. You can't run that system. Period. I said, because you only have a 58-man roster, and that includes the practice squad. I said, you don't have enough bodies. Period. I said, you not gonna work. You know what you're talking about? When you have 128 guys in practice and you can just run guys in and out when they're not tired, I said, you can't do that. I said, then on top of that, you have a union and regulations, and there's certain things you can't do. And it's also the power dynamic.
It's a player league.
It's a players league. Okay, so they gonna get rid of you or me?
right,
They gonna get rid of you.
exactly.
So, so when you bring in that, you have to, I'm not gonna say it can't be successful, it can, but you have to understand the dynamic you're walking into. You're talking to grown men, so you can't go, oh.
Can't talk to a grown man like you talk to a
Yeah,
kid.
Exactly.
You can't say, I'm gonna cut your playing time, because there's marketing money involved in all this. Why'd you sit him on the bench, coach?
That
Coach
is our
put me on the
brand
bench.
right there. On
Yeah,
that
that's the
team.
brand on the bench, bro. Is he hurt? That's when you get a phone call, why isn't he playing? Because we got into an argument. Oh, okay, how about I dock your check? How about that?
Well, you look at it,
That check gonna bounce.
the dude just sitting. It's not gonna be AD or LeBron.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be these other dudes.
Yeah,
We're gonna complain.
or you do the example. Okay, way back in the day in the NFL, right? was a story that Aikman told about Johnson.
Okay.
Right, Michael Irvin, everybody went out and clubbed and partied that night, right? It came to practice, was tired. He ran him. Then at the end of practice, he cut one guy. He cut the guy that didn't mean anything. But he was sending a message. I'll cut anybody at any time. You want to go hang out? You better be able to practice. And I'm cutting him right now in front of everybody to show I'm not standing for this. See, you can do that in football. You can't do that with a 15-man roster.
Hey, but did you hear what they said? What he said after that?
What?
The press came to Jimmy Johnson and they said, "Hey man, you just cut old boy, and we heard what you said. If that was Emmett or Troy, would you have cut them?" He said, "Are you crazy? Of course I'm not cutting them."
He's like,
there's rules to this thing, man.
I'm not cutting
It's
them.
levels. It's levels.
Yeah, like come on now.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
I made an
message.
example of that dude.
Yeah.
I ain't making an
I can
example.
throw away my bag of chips,
Yeah.
but I ain't throwing away the steak dinner.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
that's the example, so, you have to, but again, that was a different time.
Yeah.
Different place, it's both with social media. I don't know if you want to really do that. So like I said, but again, if they look, I don't know about him, but if they throw him that type of money at me, buddy, I'm going.
I mean, it would be hard to turn because he's just going to get so many guarantees.
What's it-
And you live in Los Angeles as it compared to.
Well, see, not only that though, but sometimes you got to strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, because think about it. How many other guys?
He talked about that being his destination
Yeah, but see-
eventually.
yeah, eventually, but see, you gotta go, you have to go when they want you. because
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
go when you wanna go.
That's exactly right.
I mean, who was it? Who was it? The coach from Butler.
Oh, yeah, he's at Boston now,
Yeah,
Brad Stevens?
Brad Stevens.
yeah, he's the Brad Stevens. So, but when he first, they wanted him bad. And he would, for years, he kept saying, no, no, no. And then when they started to die off, then he wanted to go. And it's just kind of like, now you can't pick where you want to go. You got to go where they take you.
Yeah.
If somebody's going to give you $60 trillion,
Especially you got a chance
yeah,
to coach the LA Lakers,
yeah,
right? It's not like this is the Charlotte Hornets
Right.
trying to get you, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference. So yes, he has a chance to three-peat.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, because he has a chance to three-peat down there.
That's really, really
rare.
rare. It's rare to repeat. He's trying to do something that nobody's
ever
done since John Wooden. But what are the chances that's going to happen? And then you look at how much they're paying him compared to how much you can get. Man,
I'm leaving.
take it when you can get it, and then
Take it. You can
if
three-peat later.
if they go back and renege on what they said, and
Still get paid.
you still get paid, and then every college team in
Wants
the
you.
world will still want you
Yeah.
if you decide you want to go
We
back.
talk about that being a
Kentucky.
gift and a curse, one of the best jobs in the world.
Well, I mean,
Being a
that's,
head coach.
that's,
As soon as you
like-
cut me, I still got the money.
no, I mean, like I said, but that's,
But it comes
I
with
mean,
responsibility.
yeah, look, that's any high profile, that's the Lakers, that's the Cowboys, that's the Yankees, look, you gotta take it. That's why they pay you all that money.
Yep.
And how long do you even see, not that they have not been in the conversation, but when do you see the Lakers now we're the top team now? Like,
See,
when do you see that
the
coming
West,
back?
the West
Yeah,
is
they're loaded.
so loaded.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I said that earlier. I mean, like I said, when I looked at the West.
Because we
when I
got to
looked
think
at
about
the
who's
East,
coming back for next year. Josh coming back for next year.
Yeah.
So the Grizzlies probably will be in that hunt now.
maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot. The Lakers are always going to be in the
Yeah, in
conversation,
the conversation.
as long as you got LeBron and AD on the team.
Yeah.
Like, you just got too much talent
Mhm.
not to be in the conversation, and you're the Lakers.
Yep.
So,
And, the Lakers are the Dallas Cowboys of the WNBA.
100%.
Period. Yeah, yeah, but the Lakers are the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. When the Lakers are hot or the Celtics are hot, that's when the league is buzzing. That's when it's going on. I mean, even though the Celtics are in it, could you imagine if the Lakers would have made it to the
That's what I'm
end,
saying.
Boston? Like I said, of course, then again, as we always say, you have all these wonderful storylines that goes back to the old days of, Russell, Magic,
Mhm.
because you get to see Worthy with his dunk, you get to see Magic playing the 5, the 4, the 1, all of it. So that brings back, and that brings in
Sometimes Magic over there, he the head coach.
yeah, so that brings in all the storylines, so that's what they call royalty. That's the royalty, part of it, like I said, but again, being the Lakers head coach,
Comes
gonna-
responsibility.
comes with a lot of eyeballs.
Especially when LeBron James on the team. Like,
Yeah.
And I feel like they're still trying to win Los Angeles. Like, they haven't beat the Clippers that much.
well, but they're still, no.
That's still your little brother.
Yeah, exactly. The
That's still
Clippers
your
are,
little brother.
yeah,
I mean, they don't even have their own arena yet, do they?
they would get
Nah, it
it
ain't
this
done
year.
yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
It ain't
don't
done
have-
yet.
They play,
But yeah.
look, you playing in my house, and what did you say to me?
Yeah.
The Clippers were better,
Yeah.
but nobody talked about the
Talked about
Clippers.
it. Yeah.
You're still the Lakers, still got LeBron.
Yeah.
That may scare off some, honestly, Hurley might say, man, I don't know if I did want to deal with
Do
it.
it. Yeah.
But you're like, hey man, this is what Jeannie Buss is telling him. Jeannie Buss is saying, Bron's not gonna be around for a couple of years. Take advantage of it while you've got him, and then let's build for the future. But do I have to take Bronny James?
No, you don't have to.
Yes.
They're like, well, LeBron.
You ain't got to take him at number 17, but you got to take him at number 59.
LeBron really look. LeBron would really.
Restricted free agent. baby.
LeBron would really like it if he
Yeah.
would.
Look, I don't have to take him at 17. I could sign him to a future something, contract, something.
But yeah,
Like I said, but it is what it is. That's that. But anyway, moving on. We have the
playoffs.
playoffs tonight, and I actually sat down, put some toothpicks in my eyes to watch the first playoff game. Of course, we've always talked about the one. We've talked about the Jaylen Brown, and we've talked about Jason Tatum and who is going to exert themselves in this playoffs. to be the face of the franchise. It looked like the light-skinned dude might be losing. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I watched the dog play, bro, and the dog was dogging.
It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight, right? Because I think Dallas
takes this.
plays a lot better. I think
Yeah.
Kyrie plays a lot better.
He's gonna make some shots.
I actually think Tatum's probably gonna play a lot better.
He better.
But he'll play a lot better and they're gonna lose. So it's gonna be like, oh man, he didn't play well, they won. I think he's gonna play a lot better. They might lose.
It's a stat. It's literally a stat. When he scores under 25, they win. When he
Wow.
doesn't,
Ooh,
it's kind of tricky.
ooh.
But if he scores 25 tonight,
And they-
whatever's on prize picks, he better get, because
Hold
I
up.
need some money.
Wait, hold up. Because he cost me money.
Yeah.
He cost me my money on Tuesday. I was like, dude, all you need to do is hit 1 more 3.
Yeah. But I mean, who do you like right
In the series or on that team?
now? On that team.
on that
Who is the right now? They're up 1-0. Who is the guy that you're coming to make sure everybody is in line?
Jaylen Brown.
Brown or Tatum?
I'm going. Okay, I'm going to Brown because again, I've watched them play I've watched him play in multiple series. Even when they were losing to Golden State, he was the only one still balling. To me, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say other people weren't playing, but he was the only one making concerted defensive effort, trying to stop the ball, trying to do this. And then when I watched him play Tuesday, man had 3 blocks. I don't know how many steals, threes, dunking on folks. He was making a case, to be the face to me. So that's the guy who I'm going to.
Okay.
Not to mention the fact that you guys just informed me the man's a genius. So, you know, like I said, I'm like, dude, I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, who do you got?
That's a tough one, man, because no matter what happens, they've already said, Tatum, you're the guy, right? It's Tatum's he's gonna have a monumental crash to lose it, right? Like they've already said, you're our guy.
Mhm.
Jalen is like, they may have said it,
But it's my
and everybody keeps trying to
To
put
force
that out
it,
there.
Yeah.
But I'm better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna prove I'm better. I'm gonna prove to everybody that when it comes down to it, I'm gonna be the man. So it's gonna be interesting, right? Because you know, there's no question for Dallas, right? Everybody knows it's Luka.
Yeah.
Kyrie kind of knows his role, and that I think is what's making it work. Because I didn't think it was gonna work. Kyrie figured out
It's been more of a complimentary.
100%.
Yeah.
He can score when he needs to score. He can get people involved when he needs to. Kyrie's figured that out. With the Celtics, I think their thing has been for a lot of years, what's your go-to at the end of the game? Who's it going to go to? Is it just however it works out? What play are you going to run? That's where it's tricky. When you got two number ones,
Mhm.
it's tough because it's hard to just be like, I'm gonna alternate, we're gonna trade, you know, whatever. So you got 2 number ones.
Yeah.
Do you have a number one?
Yes,
Right?
you have a 1A and a 1B.
That's like when you have, but what I'm saying is at the end of the game,
It's still a 1 though.
if you're talking about, that's like when we were trying to figure out what, like Phoenix.
Yeah.
KD,
Or
Booker,
Book, yeah.
right? At the end of the game, it's Booker's team.
Right, but who's taking the last shot?
But KD's better,
Yeah,
right?
shot.
So who's gonna get the last shot? With whenever you have that dynamic, if you haven't quite figured it out, I don't know about the Celtics, right? Who's
Right.
taking the last shot? Who's the coach drawing that up for?
Mhm.
Because if it's
Cause against Indiana, they drew up the play for Drew to get it, but they couldn't get it to Drew. Jaylen Brown ends up hitting that shot,
the one in the corner,
Yes.
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
and that ends up
So
going to
so
overtime.
again, I haven't watched the Celtics like that where like
Yeah.
consistently to know like in game situations. But if it's who wants that last shot, I think it's Jaylen Brown.
Brown wants that last shot.
Tatum might want it, but he's like, you take it.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
So when
Yeah.
you miss,
Yeah, I can be like,
Yeah.
well, you shot
you
it.
know, that was the high.
Yeah.
I threw the ball to him.
Um,
He had a hot hand.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you know, I just let him shoot it.
But I think back about to the playoffs last year. It felt like not last year, the year before.
Okay,
Well, last year too, but it felt like Tatum had a lot of really good games.
he did. He did.
And then like but in the finals and then when it's crunch time,
Just the Spears.
so I'd have to go back and look and like, is that just what's in my head? If I go back and look,
No, so last year,
is it as bad as I think it was?
last year he did choke, in my
He
opinion.
choked.
Pause.
No.
He did. The year before that, when they played, it would have been Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
He ends up going
Well,
up for.
The year before was when he went to,
No,
was when they made the finals, right?
no. They didn't make it last year. I thought
Not last year,
Uh,
the year before
Heat made
that.
it last year.
Right,
Yeah.
the year before, they lost to Golden State.
Yeah.
He ends up not showing up. The year
Yeah.
before that one, they play against Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
Right.
He shows up for game 6 to make it a game 7, ends up losing it.
Yeah.
So he does, but if you're the face of the franchise and you're the superstar, we know what goes into that. You have to be the one to get the job.
So see, that's why I'm like, when it comes to it, I'm just like, I don't trust him.
Yeah, I don't trust that whole
yeah,
team.
Not so, I think if he shows up and Brown shows up, it's a completely different dynamic. I really think they win a championship.
I think Brown has a switch. Tatum does not.
Mhm. Okay.
Brown switch always on. I ain't gonna lie. That cat be like on a hunt.
I think I'm picking them to win it, right? I'm rooting for Dallas, but I'm picking Boston. I think they finally
Yeah.
get over the
Oh,
hump.
y'all have to give out.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, I gotta
how
watch
many
it tonight.
games?
Okay. I'm gonna say this. Okay.
You said after game 1.
I said after game 2, but
He
anyway.
said
Lord.
He said after game
He
1.
said after game
No,
one.
I gave mine.
He gave his early.
Okay,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So mine is this. Okay. So I really want Dallas to win because I really just don't like Boston. But I know because I don't like Boston. Oh, some people like Boston. There's Celtics fans out there. But I think it's going to be 6, and I think it's going to be 4-2. I think Celtics are actually going to get this one. I really think. I mean, especially, and I think, like I said, and I believe what the key is, it has nothing to do with Tatum and Brown, but I think it's Zing.
Oh, Porzingis?
I think it's Porzingis being in the mix that really
Yeah, he's the
sets
X
it
factor.
all off.
Yeah.
He's the X factor because dude, I was like, man, my God.
I had to look at the back of the jersey. I thought he would win beyond.
You're right.
So, so that's, so I watched game 1. So that's my thing. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. It's going to be 6 games. And I really think Boston's actually going to get over the hoop, get over the hump this time.
So regarding stories,
Yeah.
if we talk about politics,
Uh-huh.
what story is better? Kyrie overcoming all the adversity that he's had and him getting one with Luka, or finally Brown and Tatum getting a job done?
I mean, well, when you look at the underdog story, then clearly Kyrie going with Luka, that would be the great underdog story. But then you look at, what's going to sell tickets. Boston has how many championships? Like what, 15?
17, something
15,
like that.
17. So this would be, and again, you think about it like this. They finally get over the hump, right? They finally get over the hump. And if Jason does what he's supposed to do, then he can be the face of the franchise and potentially they can start pushing him as the face of the league. I don't see it. That's just an opportunity for him. Now, Brown does his thing and they win. Who's gonna be the face of the franchise?
He has an idea on that. I'm glad you started saying that.
So
Let him go ahead and-
because Brown doing his thing, man. I ain't gonna lie, he been doing his thing. So and of course, his attitude is, "I'm better than you." I like it. I really do. I could see him being the face of the Celtics, and I could see them saying, "Well,
Hey, he got the idea right here.
So this is what I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
The face of the franchise is Jason Tatum.
Mhm.
They've already bestowed that on him, right? Okay, let's say the Celtics, best case scenario, right? Celtics win, he's the MVP.
Yeah.
Everything works just how they wanted it to work.
Right.
All right. Now let's say they win. Jaylen Brown is by far the best player.
Trade.
MVP. Tatum plays okay,
Yeah.
right? He's good. He didn't stink it up.
Yeah.
But he's hosting the trophy at the
Yeah.
end and got both the double trophy. Now that it's time to sign Tatum. So I think he's still the face, right?
Okay.
Because Bird didn't win MVP every time, so Tatum's still good.
But
Let's say they lose
Blow it up.
and Tatum plays horribly.
Gotta go.
Comes time for that
Contract.
big contract. I think now it's time to make some trades.
Yep.
And I think you send him somewhere, we say, sorry, Jalen, we were mistaken.
You gonna play LeBron.
And then it works out, maybe Tatum then can go somewhere else, but they gonna get a truckload of
Yeah.
stuff for Tatum.
Because you still, I mean, if you want to, it's not a big three, but you still have a three with Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, and Drew.
Yeah, there's a three. You still,
Because again, I just they loaded this team up to win now, right?
Yeah.
And I think bringing in Drew Holiday,
Porzingis.
and Porzingis
Now you can play 5 out.
gives you what you didn't have before.
Mhm.
Now, they're still kind of iffy because they shoot so many daggone threes. They can shoot themselves in, shoot themselves out.
They ain't hit.
That's what Dallas is waiting.
Yes.
Yeah.
But their defense, the players they have can switch everybody. They can all help on these guys,
Right.
that's helpful to them.
Which why Dallas didn't have a lob threat.
Exactly, because they shut that down, right? I don't think anybody can stop Luka. Luka's gonna get his,
Oh, yeah, he's gonna get his.
but he's gonna need to score 40.
Kyrie.
Kyrie's gonna have to play
30.
way better.
I'm gonna need Kyrie to act like he got something to prove.
And then, yeah,
Okay, so okay, he was actually doing his thing.
It just wouldn't fall for him.
Nah, it wouldn't fall, and he was getting some crazy calls, bro. I was like, I'm watching everybody else slide around the court. He slide, travel. I was like, you're not looking at the other end of the floor?
Yeah.
Look, I ref, I get it, but I'm like, God, man, call it both ways.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, look, I don't care who wins. My team is at home,
Yeah.
but
but yeah. So, and as for the story, the who benefits most.
Mhm.
Luka is only missing one thing on his resume, and that's a ring. And then because the MVP is coming, he's gonna get an MVP. It might be
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
He's been close, and so he's gonna have an MVP, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb right now and say he's the MVP next year.
Okay.
If he gets a ring, he will have gotten a ring earlier than everybody except for Kobe. And as far as like who we think is like the greats,
Right.
but Kobe don't even count because when he got his first ring, he wasn't the Kobe that we think.
That we know.
It
of.
was
Okay.
this,
it's a Shaq.
it was the,
It was
it,
Fro.
it was the exactly. It was Froby.
Yeah. Number 8.
And so,
What, 24?
so Luka being the guy by far, he's had what, 5 all NBAs in 6 years. If he gets a ring, me ain't gonna be able to tell him nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, you just better.
He already talked trash now.
You're not gonna be able to tell that.
And you could just read it on his lip.
A good ring.
You're not gonna be able to tell that dude
Nothing.
nothing.
It'll be like I said, it'll be today's game will show. Like you said earlier, I think that's what Dallas is waiting for them to start missing from threes.
Yeah, because they were making everything.
Wow.
It was like the basket was as big as this table.
Dude, they was hitting so many threes. I was just like, this is insane. I said, and that's the thing that's always weird about basketball,
You
right?
start to think it's rigged.
That's rigged, but see, right? You think about when everybody, it's the same thing in football, right? In the playoffs, when a team goes in and they score 40 points in the first round, I said, yeah, they're not putting up 40 in the next round.
Mhm.
I said, that's just not gonna happen.
Yep.
So if you have a really, really good game, how many times in a playoff, not in a regular, in a playoff, you come back and you put up 40 points back to back? That don't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for a slump this game. Like I said, again, Tatum may get over 25, which means I need to cover my bet, get my money back. Just
So
what I'm saying.
it's gonna be the first game was the Celtics could miss.
They couldn't have.
In my ideology, it's gonna be a game where Luka gets his 40 point.
He gonna get his.
Then it's gonna be a game where Brown goes off.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a game where Tatum goes off. It's gonna be a game where Kyrie goes off. And then it's gonna be a game where, okay, now it's for y'all to really, really play.
See, yeah, it's gonna be because they always say the playoffs don't start until somebody loses at home.
Yeah.
So like if Boston wins this one, they're up 2-0.
Yeah.
Go back to Dallas. It could end up 2-2. But they always say when somebody gets that road win,
Yeah.
oh, now we on to something because
Yeah.
you don't have home court anymore.
Yeah.
Boston would want to win this game
Yes, they would.
because, like I keep saying, I just don't trust them.
Or
And
end of the bargain.
and when they were up huge, and then it got cut to 8. I
What?
think they were like, wait a minute. But
Taylor
then-
Burn, where you at?
but they dug such a big hole. Dallas dug such a big hole that it was gonna be hard to dig out of
And
that.
even with that, I mean, Kyrie couldn't get a bucket. PJ played well.
I mean, but nobody,
Lively didn't play good.
Bruh,
Derrick Jones Jr.
they-
couldn't
he-
buy a bucket.
He
Like,
fouled, bro. They were calling so many fouls, bro.
yeah.
I mean, look, Lively had what?
He had like
He had 4 fouls going into the
third quarter. Yep.
It's because he won't do nothing but hacking. That was
I know.
legit.
I mean, that was legit hacking, but I was just like,
And you got to give credit to Boston because we always talk about them settling for the 3. They actually started driving
Yep.
when that league
Yeah.
got cut to 8.
yeah, that's when the league got cut. They started driving to the hole because I think they had no defender.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with 4 fouls, what you gonna do?
Yep, exactly. And we'll see
And
if
you
Porzingis if he's
6'6", like
Yeah.
and we'll see if Porzingis can play as well, or if he might have 8 points today.
yeah,
Yeah,
he,
yeah,
you
but
know.
That's what he
but
like
He
to do.
was fresh. I mean, I'll say this: he was 8 weeks. Think about it. Everybody's played 60, 70 games. He coming in a 2-month layoff. Got fresh legs.
You remember what was his injury?
It was a leg.
I don't even remember. But you know, he's coming off an injury. Probably could have played sooner,
Yeah.
but they wanted to give it as much
Yeah.
rest as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. But if he's fully healthy,
Yeah.
he should be the freshest
He is
dude
the freshest
in the league right
It
now.
was like it's just you're just fresher. I mean, you don't have all that wear and tear on your body. Your knees ain't as sore. Your
Yeah, it
back
was a
ain't as
calf
sore.
strain. So I
Okay.
was right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you know, like 8 weeks for a calf strain.
I mean, he's 7'3".
I don't care, but 8 weeks for a
Yeah,
calf strain.
yeah, them lower extremities, man. When that,
When
yeah,
you're 7'3", you gotta
Because-
take your time.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Look,
like
look, calf strain, bro. I was out next week playing ball. You talking about
Okay.
rising up? My leg. I thought somebody kicked me when I was in the air. Like, who hit
So,
me?
I do want to ask you guys one question that nobody has seemed to talk about.
Mhm.
We have Porzingis, which he was crowned or started being called a unicorn.
Yep.
Chet, obviously we already know about KD.
Mhm.
Bull, Wemby
Yep.
and then even now we hear about this Alex Sarr guy from France that may go number 1. Replica of Wemby.
Yep.
Is that where the league is finna start going?
Yes.
Yes.
Because all these, I mean, look at Cat, for example.
Yeah.
A 7'1"
Yeah, even Cat.
center,
I'm sorry, I didn't even think of him.
the best 3-point, you know what I'm saying? Embiid even.
Yeah.
Embiid is doing stuff that, so every kid, no matter how tall they are,
Be a point guard.
wants to be out there shooting threes and wants to be crossing people over. So if you're 7'1" and above and you got guard skills, look, Anthony Davis,
yeah.
right? That's what everybody now wants, because the days of the 6'1" point guard leading your team, them days are
Oh.
done. Them days are done.
Six
It-
one was big.
You're gonna get to the point where there ain't nobody on the team
Ain't nobody in the league.
that's shorter than 6'3".
6'3" would be the what? Bottom tier of it.
Yeah. And you gotta be probably
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can be like Steph is the shortest guy in the league.
Yeah.
The,
At
the,
6'3".
you know what I'm saying? But yes, so everybody is now whether they, you know, they can stay healthy, whether their skills,
Right.
but the skills are gonna be there because everybody from Africa to Iowa
Who's gonna be doing
is
it?
doing that,
So,
right?
Yeah, and of course, think about it, right? That's the maturation of sports,
Mhm.
right? Bigger, faster, stronger.
Yep.
That's what we do.
And more skilled now.
Yeah, like I said,
So,
bigger, yeah, same
Your
thing,
7-footers are out there crossing
Think-
people
Yeah,
over.
think about it, because even like I said, when you
Getting the
look-
rebound and taking it up.
Yeah.
the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, who started that? I'm trying to remember, go back in the day. Could you
Magic.
remember, remember how Olajuwon, his footwork, elbow, tactician.
Yeah.
He could spin and dunk, his footwork. was
Right,
so
right,
good,
right.
But he was quick,
Yeah.
you know, so that kind of started it. Now, then after that, you had,
You got like prototypes.
yeah, prototypes. Then you
Yeah.
had,
Glimpses of it, yeah.
then Shaq tried to bring the ball up, didn't look pretty, but he did it. You know, so I mean, I'm just saying.
Nah, for real, I know what you-
Yeah, it didn't look pretty, but he did it. You know, then of course you had Draymond.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Yeah.
Was supposed to be.
Giannis.
Yeah,
Yeah, so so all these guys, because think about it, when you start seeing a big man bring the ball up, that's back in the day, that would be every big man's dream.
yeah.
Come down,
Ralph
cross the leg up.
Sampson, remember Ralph
Yeah.
Sampson used to do it.
Yeah, so now that and that was rare. So now these guys they're like, okay, so but again, they're bigger, 6'9",
And it's also
6'10".
being what you said, allowed.
Yeah,
Everybody's out here with
Back
their
then, you couldn't
trainer.
shoot them
Yeah.
threes.
Everybody's out here with their trainer working on that.
Yep.
They're not
Yeah.
working on back to the basket,
Yeah.
post up,
Nope.
No.
You wish they did, because I literally asked AJ a couple days ago. I said, it used to be a skill to shoot off of the square.
yeah.
We don't see it no more.
Nobody shoots off the backboard. Nobody banks anything in unless it's a
bank.
layup.
Bank, what's
Yeah.
that?
You,
Open
exactly.
the bank is open. No, buddy.
Yeah.
Listen, but again, that goes back to what it's more of an offensively driven league. I hate to say it, because I like defense. Like I said, but the more you score, the more people watch.
Yep.
Like Loyola Marymount, when they used to score 140 points a game,
Yep.
everybody used to want to watch them play.
Yep. It was
now
fun to watch. It was
It's
entertaining.
fun to watch, entertaining.
Yeah.
But now you think about it, it's every big man's dream to dribble, spin, hit a layup or dunk or come cross me up, make me fall. It's a highlight and I can shoot a three
Yep.
or I can do a
Right.
step back fade.
Yep.
Because back in the day, you did not see that.
Yeah.
Definitely
Right.
back in the 90s, you ain't see
No.
big man bringing the ball up.
You would get
You'd have
you'd
got
be
stabbed.
you'd be sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Be
Your
like,
coach
yo,
been
what
like,
are you doing?
Get over here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, thinking about it now, before even then, KD, I mean,
Mhm.
only ones I could think of is like Chris Bosh.
Yeah,
Dirk.
Bosh. Yeah,
But
Bosh.
Dirk
even
Nowitzki.
Bosch was more of a
Forward.
forward,
Yeah,
like he
forward.
he wasn't.
Dirk. I
Yeah.
mean, but
Yeah, but Dirk played forward too. He didn't play center.
Yeah, and they weren't bringing the ball to the floor.
Yeah.
they were
Like,
not. They were
you
not.
know what I'm saying?
I mean, like I said, you saw.
The stretch four
Mhm.
was the thing. Now the stretch four has become the center,
Yeah.
the stretch center
Yeah.
being
Or whatever they're
7'2",
gonna start calling
bringing,
it. Stretch
yeah,
five.
yeah. And I mean, when you got people like Chet and
Mhm.
Wemby, they're really playing the three position at 7'5",
Right. Exactly.
so it's like crazy.
And what does that create? A matchup nightmare if you don't have somebody to say
Right.
foot. Because me at 6'6" or me at 6'3", dude, I'm giving up a foot already.
Yeah, you could do.
And you just saw me the picture, his hands this high, but I'm not blocking that.
Yeah, there's
Fouling you.
I'm grabbing your legs and throwing you on the ground. What are you
I'm
doing?
fouling you.
And all these dudes are so skilled, they all shoot 85% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
There's no more Shaqs that shoot 50%.
Shaq hack attack.
All of these dudes are shooting all of that, and they're shooting in the 80s.
Yeah.
And we talk about just when they jump, they really can't even see
You
you.
do
So it's
jump.
like,
Yeah.
When you jump, like I say, you're dunking on the way down.
Yeah.
Literally. Literally. Because I used to be like, okay, we used to watch it, be like, oh, his head's above the rim. Nah, dude, this dude barely jumped his arm. He's in the
Oh, yeah.
armpit. And what are you doing? He's still going up.
yeah.
He's not coming down. He's still going up, bro. What are you doing? I'm not trying to be in this snapshot. That's what I'm not
At
trying
all.
to do. What you gonna do? About to clip it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Even Joker. I mean, you got to put him
Yeah.
in that list. He brings the ball up.
Yeah, he does.
And he's just great, but just crazy skill. He doesn't do it the athletic way,
yeah.
but just skill wise.
He's athletic in his own way, but he
Sure
doesn't
is.
just athletically
But
jump.
yeah. But these dudes can jump and run. They're fast and they're skilled.
I'm
So
talking about the Joker like that, like, cause you talked about body types. Well, I was cracking up when I was watching that game, bro. I was like, bro, why he look he out of shape? He just looked like he don't even know what a gym looks like.
yeah, that's gonna be. I still say that's the one thing that's gonna get Luka.
Yeah,
Is-
yeah. That's
If he don't change his body.
If he doesn't get in better shape,
Yeah, 'cause I'm looking at
it's
him
gonna
like-
catch up to him.
I'm looking at him like, bro, look, he just literally just left a sandwich shop. Everybody else got little cuts and muscles.
Now, mind you, I had to realize and understand, like, they be wearing the pad gear and all that. Cause I used to think that Melo was fat.
Melo?
Yeah, but he used to have like the little padded.
He had a little bit of the,
But he got, they have it's those
Yeah, I
NBA
know.
Nike drop
Yeah,
fit
yeah.
compression shirts with the pattern.
Yeah, so don't get hit now.
Yeah, I think Luka wears that now,
He
especially with
does.
the injury that he has.
Well, dude, even the arms don't lie.
No, for sure. I am not
The
disagreeing
arms
with
don't
him not needing to be in better
Yeah,
shape.
like
Definitely
bro,
does.
he need to do what you call it, you need to do LeBron and the Shaq come in when you got rips.
yeah. I mean, I guess he's
Trying to
like,
win.
it ain't broke. Why fix it?
Well, your
So-
body, look, as a man told me, get a little older, you gonna figure it out.
But that's the
Take
thing.
care of your butt.
Dude is 25. He's
But
like,
yeah, I don't need to figure nothing out.
yeah, I got 10 more years of doing this.
Like-
I'm gonna drink beer every night. I'm gonna.
You know it's crazy when they won against who did Dallas beat? Minnesota. They won, celebrated. He drinking a beer.
Oh yeah,
One of the,
Michael Finley,
Yeah, he was like
the director of like player. He's
me
like,
get that."
this ain't a good look for you, bro.
Yeah.
Take that to the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
too many
good.
cameras around.
Yeah.
I thought we said we weren't drinking the playoffs. We can take
Well,
that
they're
back.
gonna- Yeah, you know, so I think once he makes that jump, I think
The league is gonna get scary.
it'll get scary because then those European guys are gonna be doing the same thing because like I said, the more they draft from overseas and they're pulling guys in from overseas, it's just gonna be different. You're just like, because I mean, like I said, normally
Mhm.
you would hear about the #1 draft pick coming from one of our college teams.
Right.
Now, in the last couple of years, when,
Yeah, that's been a minute.
coming from Europe
since-
now.
That's been a minute
Europe.
since
you know,
the
Yeah.
When you look at who's the face of the league,
Yeah.
and the first three people you name
Europe.
are European dudes.
See, that's the thing that drives the whole thing, right? Because you're going, because we talk about who's the face of the league constantly. Who? I mean, can a guy from Europe truly be the face of the league
Yes.
if he is in Europe?
No, I don't think so.
I think he can.
But if he don't live here, he leaves at the end of the season. Can he be the face?
Nobody
of the league?
cares. Nobody cares what they're doing at the end of the season.
Everybody cares what LeBron's doing.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
That's because LeBron is here. LeBron
I-
could be in China and they would still be
I'm
the
just
same
saying,
thing.
but he has built up that following to do that.
But what I'm saying is, it's not about, because again, it's not about how good you are all the time. It's what other things you bring to the pack. Yes, what else do you bring to the table, right? So if we're saying Luka, Giannis,
Well, Giannis,
Joker are like the three kind of best players,
Mhm.
who's got the personality to kind of carry you? So, do one of the three of them have the personality to be the LeBron, right?
Giannis.
I don't think so yet, right? Because none of those people really have, but skill wise, yes. The thing is, because the person who's going to be the face of the league has to have the skill and the personality and the popularity. All of that has to be the same package,
Well, I
right?
don't see I don't see the Nuggets guy do. I've watched.
Well, I don't think it's any of those three.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but
yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick one, I would pick Giannis because he's in Canada. He has more.
He's in Canada.
Is it Giannis, right? Is it Milwaukee? Sorry, Milwaukee.
From Greece.
He's from Greece. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but I don't know why I said that. But
That's all right. Maybe Milwaukee's up north.
Yeah, it's up
close to
north, it's
Canada.
close to Canada. But yeah, so
They be hanging out with Drake, so.
yeah, so so I'm just like, yeah, I could see him doing it because I've seen more of him, so I could see it. But like I said,
I mean, he would have been in that conversation had he not got hurt.
yeah,
Well,
Instantly.
conversation to be the best player, but
Nah,
like we
come on,
like,
come
but
on.
like we keep
Oh,
talking
face of
about,
the league, okay,
face of
okay.
the league is
Got
different.
you, okay.
But
you know,
it could happen. I mean,
it could happen,
yeah.
because again, I mean, according to Milwaukee, their cops are always killing black people constantly, so.
Yeah.
But that's another topic for another day. But like I said, with that, coming to the end and the conclusion of our 16th or 17th episode. Like I said, thank you for the likes, the views, and the comments. Again, we might read them, then again, we might not, but please comment anyway. Like I said, this is Novice Sports Show. We got three guys that came together organically to talk about sports from a novice point of view. So again, we're gonna go ahead and sign off with,
AJ.
and we got
Jay,
A-Dub. Y'all enjoy yourselves.
peace out.